Chapter 4. The Happiness Code. While researching for his book, 30 Lessons for Living, Karl Pillemer discovered something stunning. He asked 1,000 elderly Americans to share the most important lessons they learned over the years. None of them talked about happiness in the way that we see it these days. Of all the people interviewed, not even one said the secret to happiness was to make more money than the person living next to you. No one said that pursuing a high-paying career for the sake of money and prestige would make you happy. And if all that is true, which it is, then we seem to be missing something. Many people firmly believe that more money would make them happier people. They hinge all their happiness hopes on an increase in their monthly paycheck, and therefore live very unhappy lives. According to the Americans interviewed, what made them happy was having meaningful relationships, spending quality time with family, and being part of something bigger than themselves. When you realize that several scientific researchers support these points, you will want to take them seriously. Nothing matters more than your happiness. It's disastrous to anchor your happiness on things, especially things you're yet to have, because you may never have them. But when you give more premium to relationships and causes, you realize that you become a much happier person. Chapter 5. Don't aim to be rich, aim to be wealthy. The difference between riches and wealth is beyond semantics. Riches are what you see as an external observer, but wealth is usually hidden. Someone living in a house worth $200,000 is rich, even if they borrowed to get the house. At least they have to be earning a high income to be able to pay their debt. But that's not wealth. Wealth is when you have that $200,000 in cash or asset that you haven't spent yet. When people say they want to be millionaires, they mean they want to spend the way millionaires do. But if you have a few millions and you blow them all on your wants, who spends millions, not a millionaire. Wealth is the money you save and invest. It's the assets you own. And that's the thing people don't see. What most people see is the display of riches, and anyone can appear to be rich. Matter of fact, many people who look rich are actually broke. When it comes to building wealth, you have no one to impress. Don't buy stuff you don't need to show off to people who don't even care about you. The advice is commonsensical, yet people disobey it every day. The reason people buy fancy stuff they don't need is because they feel it will attract respect and admiration. But guess what? It seldom happens. When people see you driving an expensive car down the street, they don't immediately think about you. They may get the idea that you're rich, but it doesn't translate to respect for you. The opposite usually happens. They use the car you're driving to measure their own success and fuel their drive to achieve more. Put it another way, they're not thinking of respecting you, they're wishing they could be you. So it doesn't make sense to impress people at your own expense. Focus on building wealth, not showcasing riches you can't afford. Conclusion. Uncertainty is the nature of life. We do our best to predict outcomes and outline our actions in lieu of them, but it doesn't mean things will always go our way. Life happens and we must learn to adjust accordingly. If you made certain projections for your investments and they go as you imagined, great. But when that doesn't happen, it's important to rise quickly and change plans. This is why investors must have no sunk cost. It doesn't make sense sticking to a portfolio because you've invested too much time and money into it. Be flexible enough to make changes when it's not working. Remember, Chapter 1. People sometimes make crazy financial decisions, but no one is crazy. We're all limited by our knowledge, experience, and the state of the market we're trading. It helps to seek guidance from people more experienced than you when unsure of a particular move. This person could be a friend, financial advisor, or someone from an investment club you belong to. It doesn't matter. What counts is that they have experience enough to guide you. Speaking of investment clubs, there are so many of them both online and offline. Find some to join if you're not part of any. You'd have to pay a regular fee for most, but they're always worth the dollar. Final words. Protect your happiness at all costs. Stay out of shady deals. Don't chase money, and always create time for the important thing in your life. Because in the end, what's the use of the money if you can't enjoy it? Try this. Join an investment club online or find one in your state that meets regularly.